Hi everyone for tonight's Nightcap and review. Tonight I'm having Water and I'll be reviewing Cardinal by Rose Chase. This is a book I received as an ARC, but of course I'm giving my honest opinion. These are the tropes. And these are the content warnings. I just want to say this book was amazing. I gave it 5 stars. It was so good. I will admit the age gap trope is a very difficult one for me to like. There has to be certain parameters as it comes to it. And this one generally would fall outside of the parameters of what I enjoy when it comes to an age gap. But I love Rose Chase and I love how she writes her male main characters and her female main characters. That I was like, I trust Rose. I know her writing because I've read a couple of her books now. I'm like, I am sure I'm going to love this. And I was right. Her writing was just so good. And this book was so enjoyable. Like I said, I gave it 5 stars. So, what's this book about? So this book is about a girl named Juliet who doesn't really aspire for much in life. She's been conditioned by her family to let them handle everything, and they say it's in her best interest. So they handle her education, what she wears, what she eats. They'll even choose her future spouse. She is just to let them handle everything. So she lets them because it's all been to her benefit as she's been taught. That is until she comes home one day from school and finds her bags by the door with strange men there to take her. Turns out her family have sold her off to a madame to help pay off their debts. And as much as she tries to fight off these men and then the madame, she is unfortunately made to suffer through a night of horror after she is put up for auction. But just as this night of horrors comes to an end, fate gives her a single moment that she takes and she's able to escape, only to be hit by a car. And in that car is none other than the devil of the syndicate, Luciano Augusti. I think is how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. And with her handlers not far behind her, in the arms of the devil, she asks for help. And the devil grants it and whisks her away. And it's in his embrace that Juliet is able to recover and plot her revenge against those who harmed her, because now she has the devil at her back to help her get her revenge. So what are my thoughts on this book? Again, I'm giving it 5 stars. I really did enjoy this. And as I said, the age gap trope can be a difficult one for me, but Rose made me comfortable reading this book and it was enjoyable. As she had on her trigger list, Juliet starts out as 17 in chapter 1, and in chapter 2, she is 18. And that's when she meets the male main character, Lucien. So technically, he has only ever known her when she is 18 and legal. I know for some that is semantics. For me, semantics matter. It is still an age gap, a pretty big one, but it was done in a way where I was enjoyable. Mostly because Lucien embodies what I love about this type of alpha male main character, because there's a dichotomy of with everyone else, he's that strong, brutal, rough kind of guy, bloodthirsty, but with her, he's soft and gentle and just wants to take care of her. Because when he takes her home after rescuing her, all he wants to do is take care of her. There's no alternative means. He doesn't set out to fall in love with this really young girl. He just wants to take care of her physical needs after everything she's been through, her mental health needs. He gets her a therapist, and he wants to take care of her educational needs, help her finish high school, and help her go to college. He just wants to take care of her and set her up for life. And I love that about him. And when feelings start to grow, or he sees the feelings in Juliet, he even suggests you need to talk to your therapist and make sure this isn't some survivor or some savior complex that you're thinking is love when it's not. He also, when he starts to recognize the feelings in himself, he's like, you don't know the real me. Once you do, you're not going to want to. So you need to tap out now, because this is not going to work out between us. Not just because of my age, but because of who I am. You deserve better. So he did try to resist for as long as he could. But once the feelings did come out and were coming into play, he was very much a consent king. Even at one time, he wouldn't hold her hand because of what she went through unless he had verbal consent. Like he said, can I hold your hand? And she nodded. He's like, no, I want verbal consent. And every time there's a spicy moment, he wanted to make sure they went over the safe words. So he was very much making sure she was comfortable with what was going on and that she could rescind consent at any moment, and that she knew that. Now, I also really enjoyed Juliet, who was really forged in fire. She went through something that was unimaginable, but through support and hard work, she was able to rise above it and become a strong, sassy, super resourceful, spunky woman that I really enjoyed reading and was always cheering on. The antics that she would get up to, especially when she was pissed at Lucien or Lusano, was just so funny. And she never really feared for herself. She was just like, oh, he did that? Okay, I'm a hacker. I'm going to hack my feelings away with him, draining his bank accounts, draining his friends' bank accounts. She was hilarious, and I loved reading her. along with the main characters being really enjoyable. The plot was really well done, and I enjoyed the side characters. I really fell in love with some of these side characters, which based on how this book ends makes me really excited because I'm sure we're going to get their stories down the line, and I can't wait to see what happens to them. Now, this book, which again, I enjoyed so much and gave 5 stars, will be available August 30th, so soon. Definitely give it a download. You will enjoy it, I am sure, as long as you are comfortable with the triggers. And I hope everyone has a good night and happy readings.